Hello there. Today's video is about the new rework Frost, my Weekauras, my macros, my add-on, so some of my UI stuff, my nameplate, what I track and don't track. Let's start. First Weekaura, and all of this will be in the description so you can import them, is called Character Position Crosshair. This pretty much puts a plus in the middle of your screen for where your character is. You can see here the plus. This is useful for people who lose themselves and yeah, trust me, it's useful. Second Weekauras is called Let's Advance. Pretty much every time you press Let's Advance, you clear a little tracker. Um, Trust me, this is very useful when you are immune to knockbacks. You'll want to be immune to knockbacks, and you'll want to know for how long. You don't want Let's Advance to expire and then get knocked back. Killing Machine. Killing Machine is the main ability that Frost DK uses. It's basically the, the core. You can see here the tracker. I have one, I have two, I press Killing Machine. I have one, I press Killing Machine. I have one, I press Killing Machine. Okay? Killing Machine, you always want to press it as soon as possible, pretty much. It can stack up to two. Um, and yeah, and basically there's a new talent in town called Killing Streak. When you have two, I'm gonna get two here. See, I press obliterate and it comes with both. I'm gonna do it again. I have two, I press killing machine, it comes with both. I have two, I press killing machine, it comes with both. Two, boom. So there's a new talent here that helps you waste, uh, don't waste, I mean, sorry. Um, Remove the amount of killing machine that you waste. Because the rework frost gives you a lot of killing machine, especially if you play dual wield like this. Okay. Um, and I'm gonna show you the talent real quick. It's this killing streak. So obliterate and froststrike consumes all killing machines to do 25% increased crit damage. So you even do more damage. This honestly is passive. I don't think you'll play around it. I think you'll just want to press killing machine as soon as you get them, and that's about it. So you say killing machine, you press them. That's why this Weekauras is useful. Okay. Make sure you have a killing machine tracker and make sure that you're using those as soon as possible. Um, Pillar of Frost. Pillar of Frost tracker is very important. It's just a tracker that shows the duration. Breath, same thing. Breath is different now. It's in 1.5 minutes. It doesn't drain RP anymore. All it does is it costs RP. See, 60 unique power, and every time you press Killing Machine or Rhyme, the duration gets increased. So let me show you um, the pillar tracker here on the middle of my screen. Here, you can see here is a little tracker. Um, this is important because basically Frost, I'll show you a little bit more. The tracker here, 7. So it's really important that like you know when pillar is expiring because um, at the last second, let's say you want to make sure that you're using the killing machine because it's empowered, right? Pillar gives a lot of strength. Um, so the reason why you want to track pillar is of this talent, obliteration. During Pillar of Frost, Froststrike, Glacial Advance, and Howling Blast always grant killing machine. Um, so pretty much you're generating a lot more killing machines and you're doing a lot more damage. So you want to make sure that you use as many killing machines as possible in Pillar of Frost. It's a 12-second duration, but it gets extended to 18 seconds because of this talent. Every time you auto attack crit, it increases by 2 seconds up to 6. So Pillar of Frost goes from a 12-second to an 18-second. Um, the breath Weekauras that I showed you basically tracks breath. You can see here at the top, my breath here. There's a timer on it. It goes up, right? Um, this is a new breath. Every time you, it doesn't drain RP anymore. So you can see here, I'm pressing Froststrike. Boom. I don't care. Breath doesn't consume RP anymore. I can press Froststrike in my breath, and you can see here it's getting extended. Um, every time I press Holding Blast or Killing Machine, it gets extended by 1 second. So I'm breathing for longer and longer and longer, okay? Um, the only reason to track it, to be honest with you, is probably during your lusted opener. Um, where, well, not even lusted. You can see here that like my pillar is almost back up and the bread just expired. So there's a world where I would have kept this bread for my second pillar window, which would have fed into my pillar. Because every time you press Pillar of Frost, you gain these Exterminates. You can see here the Exterminates. Um, and those exterminates feed into like more killing machines, which feeds into a longer bread of sindragosa. This is because of Deadbringer, pretty much. Okay, next we go. I think I'm almost done. The tier set crit. So our new tier set for Deadbringer is every time you cast Reaper's Mark, you gain Exterminate, right? And then the 4 piece is um, when Reaper's Mark explode, you basically get 10% crit, okay? And this is crit. Don't track it, it's useless. It's just to min-max a few things. You want to use like stuff like Frostworm's Fury or stuff like that inside of it. Unholy Strength, same thing, it's just passive. It's basically our weapon enchant. When our weapon enchant here, Rune of the Fallen Crusader proc, you'll see a Unholy Strength buff. It gives you strength. So that's about it for my Weekauras. Honestly, there isn't a lot. Um, Froststrike got entirely reworked. Let's go over that real quick. Cleaving Strike is different now. It doesn't work with D&D. So you can see here D&D is not bound. I don't have any Weekaura for D&D. Um, in AoE now you want to press rush side. Let me do my rotation here in AoE and you can see here at the top what I'm gonna be pressing, okay? So I open with my trinket. I empower rune weapon. I do my 1 button macro, breath, pillar, boom, and then I press a bunch of cross side here. All I'm doing is cross side, Clash of Advance, cross side, rhyme to apply rune, apply things, and then boom. All I'm doing is cross side, okay? No thinking, just press cross side in AoE now. Don't drop D&D. D&D doesn't do anything. Boom. See, it's all cross side. No more obliterate. No more D&D. If your tank moves, you can follow him. It don't matter. You don't have D&D. Nothing on your feet. Okay. Frost side, glacial advance. Make sure you apply your rhyme debuff and keep going. Okay. Um, now what? Empire rune weapon is different. You can see here. Empire rune weapon basically. I'm going fast because I already make videos on this. Empire rune weapon is basically a spell now that generates RP and give you killing machine. So you can see here it has a range. I can use it from this far, and you can see an animation. And when I use it, you'll see my obliterate light up. Using it, boom, I get a killing machine. That's about it. It gives RP. So basically, you can go into your breath like instantly on the opener. I don't really want to go over the mode talent. I'm gonna go over my UI now. So I said the Weekauras. Okay, let's go over some macros real quick. Okay. Um, First macro is AMZ. This is just a add cursor. So basically, when I press AMZ, it's gonna cast where my cursor is. That's it. Okay. This is basically preferred for me. That's advanced. This is a cast sequence. That's advanced. Basically, this makes it impossible for you to waste both charges of Death Advance if you spam the button. Let me show you. I'm gonna press this button very quickly in a row. Boom, I'm spamming it here, and it doesn't go off. Only one is going off. This is because of this cast sequence. So basically, I'm not wasting both charges, okay? D&D, completely ignore that. Mouse over, dead grip, okay? This is what I like to use. Basically, I don't have to target anything if I want to grip. So if I put my mouse here, boom, I grip that. I don't target anything. And the same thing if I'm fighting this and I want to grip this, boom, I grip this without targeting it. It's just a mouse over. Target, focus, kick. Okay, so you can see here I have 2 kick macro, C and shift 4. Um, Basically, it's just a focus kick. Focus kick is when you are hitting something, but your focus is like another target. You can see here my focus is full, but I'm targeting X. Okay, and if I want to kill X, but kick skull, I need the macro boom. Okay. Um, Now this goes with the macro mouse over. This is a keybind that when you put your mouse on something, it's automatically going to put a focus on it. This is very useful in Mythic Plus. Okay, let me show you here real quick. So my keybind is Shift R. So every time I mouse over something and I press Shift R, you can see here under my unit frame here that this is my focus by the way, and this is my target here. So I'm targeting X. but I'm focusing skull. And now if I want to change to square, boom, I just press the button and I can focus all four of these. Okay, these two go together. This basically makes it a very efficient way to focus stuff without having to click it and set focus. Okay. Next is the two biggest macro of the new Frost DK. Okay, all you need is two macros if you play Deadbringer. Okay, first macro is cast Pillar of Frost, cast Raise Dead, cast your potion, cast Reaper's Mark, and cast Breath of Sindragosa. Breath of Sindragosa is not on the GCD anymore, so basically you can have, and this is my ratio. Um, Basically you can have everything macroed into Breath now. So basically I'm gonna show you here my opener, but let me show you the second pillar macro. This pillar macro is basically just Pillar of Frost and Reaper's Mark. Okay, basically I do not want any let's say potions, trinket in this one because I always want to use my trinket or my potion with the breath one. So there's a pillar with breath and there's a pillar with no breath. Okay, let me see here. So basically, what I like to do as the opener um, is I empower weapon and then I press pillar of frost and then I press breath. Okay, so I use my trinket, empower, pillar, breath, boom. Okay, oops, I press up. Just go with the yeah. Okay. Um. So yeah, one macro for everything now. It's pretty neat. Okay. Um. And let me show you here. You see my RP? My RP and bread is still running. You see, I don't have RP and my bread is still running. Bread doesn't cost RP anymore. Okay. I think I'm done with macros. Um. So basically, TLDR is you really only need two macros. The rest is whatever. Okay. So for us, it's not very easy. Okay. Let's go over some of my UI stuff. As you can see here, all of my nameplates here, I only track one thing, and one thing is this basically. It's called Razorite. Okay. Um, Basically, I don't even need to track it for this build, but I'm tracking it. Okay. And let me show you my add-on. Okay, start with going here add-on. Okay. So I'm using this one. It's called Fly Plate Buff Fixed. Let me open it real quick. Add-on Fly Plate Buff Fixed. Okay. So pretty much here, it's an template that shows icons, and I go into specific spells, okay, and you can see here a list of all the spells, okay. So basically here, um, you remove. I'll put something on the screen. Basically, it's all the IDs, okay, that I'm removing, okay, that I don't want to track. So you can see here, blinding sleet. Basically, every time you use blinding sleet, it's not gonna show up on the nameplate. See, brittle. Brittle is when your pet hits, right? See, chain of ice here. And I have also unholy stuff. You see here, frost fever. I don't want to track frost fever. Hyper Pexa. I don't want to track that. Or raid buff. Insidious chill. I don't want to track that. Or raid buff. Remorseless winter. Like I don't want that to show on my nameplate every time I press it. Okay. Oh, I need to talk to you about the remorseless winter a little bit. Okay. So stuff like that. So all I'm tracking is basically almost nothing. Okay. I don't even know. Let me do this. Yeah. Yeah. You see. So all I'm tracking, I'm probably gonna even remove that. I don't even need that anymore. In fact, I'm gonna do it right now. Okay. Show you how this works. Okay, so Everfrost. So I grab the ID 376. Uh, what's the 376974974. Okay, so I want to remove this little thing. You see where it says 10? I want to remove this. So I go into my addons, addon, fly plate buff. I go to specific spell. I type the ID here. You see, I type the ID. Okay. You see here it changes to Everfrost. Now I go find it in the list. Everfrost. Boom. It's here. And then show, I put never. And so basically now it's never gonna show anymore. So you can see here that if I go into the dummy and press my rotation, boom, it doesn't show anymore. See, it doesn't have the stacking remorseless winter. Perfect. Now let's talk about remorseless winter a little bit. You can see here on my character, I still have remorseless winter running, right? Okay. This is no longer a button. Um, if you don't take this talent, it's a button, but everybody's gonna be taking this talent 100% of the time in AoE, okay? There is no situation where you're not gonna take this in AoE, trust me. It just gives too much mastery. Basically, this button replaces Remorseless Winter. Now, Remorseless Winter is tied to Pillar of Frost. So every time I press Pillar of Frost, it's gonna give me a remorseless winter that I do not care about. I do not worry about it at all. So I press Pillar of Frost, boom. Now I have a remorseless winter on me. That's it. Like, everything is in one macro. You have a Pillar Breath macro that casts remorseless winter for you, everything. Reaper's Mark, okay? Frost is now a one macro, like one button, okay? Boom. Okay, do I have any other add-ons? I think I do, okay? So I have this add-on called ID Tips. ID Tips, so this goes well with this one because basically what it does is if you put your mouse over anything, okay? Anything, um, let's say like anything here, you'll see here it's gonna say spell ID, icon ID. If you grab the spell ID, then that's useful to like remove or blacklist or whitelist them. Okay, so knowing the ID of each abilities will help you make Weekauras or figure out like other stuff. Okay, let me check my other add-ons. Okay, I have something called nameplate is SC scrolling combat text. Okay, this is what I like to use. Here are my settings. I'll go slowly over, so you can pause and copy them. Okay, if you install this, boom, boom, boom. Okay, and that's it. It's almost default, by the way. I haven't changed much. Okay. Um, and basically this is like how my abilities or the damage I'm doing is displayed. So if you like it, then you can use it. Okay. You can see here all I'm doing is Froststrike. But here, what I want to show you is my UI. It's my thing. So you see all the abilities, all the crit, stuff like that. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. I think I'm done with Addons, to be honest. True FGCD is for you guys. It's this thing up here. It tells you like what ability I've pressed, so you can easily track it. Okay. That's pretty much it for my add-ons, macros, and Weekaura. Let's just go over, I guess, maybe another video. Okay. Thank you guys for watching.